What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for Bundesliga Week 24 predictions. Now, last week, it was a tough one. We did have a perfect score of Mainz winning 2-0, but other than that, there were just some tricky games where I maybe got the result right, but tipped the goal market instead, that kind of thing. Just want to quickly interject before we get into the predictions. Flashing up on the screen are all of the people that are supporting me over on the Full 90 Patreon. If you want to get a shout out in every single video, then you can click that top link in the description. You also get exclusive members tips and accumulators, everything like that. I believe there's Premier League fixtures going on tonight, so if you want to get involved with those picks, then you can click the link if you're watching this video soon after it goes up. And of course, as I said, you get a shout out in every single video. Thank you so much for all of the support. I really do appreciate it. It's been pivotal in allowing me to put the time into making the Bundesliga, Serie A and La Liga prediction videos alongside the Premier League and Champions League like we have been doing for years. So I really appreciate all of the support on the channel this year and all the years previous, and long may it continue. With that being said, let's get into this week's Bundesliga predictions. But nevertheless, we are back and I'm very excited. We are still, of course, top of the Bundesliga prediction league because we've been smashing it out this year since we started. So very happy with that. I think we're top in La Liga, Serie A and Bundesliga. So all's been going very well. Let's kick it off with an absolute cracker of a game. It's Stuttgart up against Bayern Munich. Stuttgart drawing with Hoffenheim 1-1. See, that was one. I tipped both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. And 1-1 is like the worst score you can get when you predict that. Bayern Munich beating Eintracht Frankfurt 4-0. What a result that is. I think they go from strength to strength here and win 3-1. And I'm going to just keep saying it. I'm going to say it again. Bayern Munich to win and both teams to score at 2.87 as the tip. It's just so good. It's always above evens and it happens more often than not. So, I mean, if you look here, so that it didn't happen there. It didn't happen there. It didn't happen there. But it happened there. It happened there. It happened there. And that we actually tipped over 4.5 goals. So if you look here, we've got we've got 4 winners out of the last 7, all above evens. So that's profit, and that's what you can do with Bayern Munich. So 3-1 to Bayern Munich, 2.87 odds. I mean, that's nearly a treble. So you love to see it. 3-1 Bayern Munich against Stuttgart. After this, St. Pauli against Dortmund. Again, Dortmund is so horrible away from home, aren't they? I mean, you look here, Bochum, I mean, it's just awful. It's just awful. But St. Pauli, they're not particularly good, and I do think Dortmund are just going to get the win. I'm going to go for a 2-0, and the tip, it is going to be Borussia Dortmund to win at 1.8. It's not, to be honest, it's pretty good value. Like, Dortmund should be beating St. Pauli. They just should, and I don't even think St. Pauli score as poor as Dortmund are at the back. They always seem to concede. I mean, apart from here, I thought Dortmund and both teams to score against Union Berlin was a great shout, and they won 6-0. So you just never know. I'm going to go Dortmund to win 2-0, and Dortmund to win at 1.8 is good enough for me. After this, it's Heidenheim up against Borussia Monchengladbach. Heidenheim haven't won in the last 7. They won 4 games all season. They're probably going to be at the very least in the relegation playoff at the end of the season. So it's not looking great. But I think they can get a goal. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Monchengladbach. But instead of Gladbach to win at 2.2, I've gone for lower odds, but a little bit safer. Borussia Monchengladbach double chance and both teams to score at 2.1. I think that's pretty likely. You could have Gladbach win 2-0, but yeah, I'm just going to go for 2-1 to Borussia Monchengladbach. Now, we have RB Leipzig up against Mainz. As I said, Mainz, the 2-0, the prediction we got right. I had RB Leipzig and both teams to score last week. They drew 2-2 with Heidenheim. Leipzig are a horrible team. If I had a no-bet list, Leipzig would be the very top of that list. Look at them, a good team, 1 win in the last 7. Like, how do you predict them? So I'm just going to go for a draw. We got 3-3s, 2-2s, 0-0. I'm going to go 0-0. Leipzig and Mainz, a lot of their recent games haven't seen both teams score. We ignore this one here. You've got 0-0, 2-0, 0-0. So yeah, 3 of the last 4, both teams score no. Mainz win 2-0, Mainz win 2-0, 0-0. No, both teams score there. No, both teams score there. So their last 7 games, both teams have scored in 1 of them. So I'm just going to go for 0-0. And the tip is going to be, it's so conservative. It's RB Leipzig, double chance, and under 3.5 goals at 1.72. I mean, this could end 4-3. I find Leipzig so difficult to predict and get a hold of. So I'm just going to say a freak 0-0 and be done with it. Because Mainz, they're defending well. Both teams on 38 points. You could even look at the draw, to be honest. But I've gone for a 0-0. After this is Bochum up against Hoffenheim. Bochum, the favourites. Don't ask me why. I don't get it. I'm going for a quite conclusive win here for TSG Hoffenheim, and the tip is going to be Hoffenheim to win. I have odds of 2.3, but the odds here say 2.75. Whatever odds they are, if it's above evens, I'm taking it for Hoffenheim to win against Bochum. So I've gone for 3-1. After this, it's Werder Bremen up against Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg, I think they are the better team, but I'm going to shade it a little bit with home form and give them something. I'll say a 2-2 draw. We've got 5 draws from Wolfsburg in their last... or 4 draws in their last 5 games. I'm going for another draw, 2-2. The tip is going to be both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 1.83, just because I could see this being a 2-1 either way. So I like that 2-2 draw. After this, it's Eintracht Frankfurt up against Bayer Leverkusen. I think, you know, Frankfurt, this is a heavy loss to Bayern Munich, isn't it? Leverkusen have lost once all season. Then probably not going to catch Bayern Munich, let's be real. And of course, they have Bayern Munich in the Champions League very soon, which is exciting. But I am going to shade this to Bayer Leverkusen. And you know what? I'm going for a high odds pick here. Bayer Leverkusen to win and both teams to score at 3.25. After this, it's Union Berlin up against Holstein Kiel. Union Berlin, firm favourites at home. Kiel, 1-3 all season, bottom of the league. I'm quite happy with a 2-0 win here. And the tip, a little parlay piece, if you will. Union Berlin to win. I have odds of 1.55. I think Kiel are going to get relegated. I think it will be Bochum and Kiel, and Heidenheim will, like I said, at the very least make the playoffs. But after this, the final game, it's Augsburg up against Freiburg. Augsburg unbeaten in the last 7. Freiburg 4 wins on the bounce after 3 losses on the bounce. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And as they are outsiders slightly, I'm going for Freiburg double chance, currently in a Champions League spot, which is phenomenal. Augsburg in the bottom half, of course. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw, but Freiburg double chance at 1.5. If you add Freiburg double chance of both teams to score, that will get you above evens if you want to play that as a single. But yeah, not to lose like they haven't done in the last 4. Obviously, Augsburg unbeaten in the last 7, so very, very good form. So I could see these two teams cancelling each other out. So yeah, we absolutely smashed through the predictions today. Here is a little summary. I think Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Gladbach, Leverkusen, all of the sort of heavy hitters away from home do get the win. I think Leipzig is going to throw up an absolute banana peel. I can't get a read on it. But that is going to do it from this video. But that is going to do it for me in this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe down below to join us on the road to 32,000. And I'll see you in the next video very soon.